Willie D Live.
We have elected leadership like Donald Trump, your president, to run the country. Check out Donald Trump trying to persuade Georgia House Speaker David Ralston to overturn the election in his favor. He recognizes that it's fraud. Another leak on Donald Trump. Man.
You do it to uncover fraud. You could say for transparency and to uncover fraud, possible fraud. So who's going to stop you for that? You know, it's like
a federal judge, possibly. Yeah, you know, Mr. President.
Yeah, Mr. President, I really want to do this for you, man. I really want to look out for you, baby. I want to do this for you, baby. But, it's just that little jail thing I'm concerned about. I ain't really concerned about ethics. I'm not concerned about ethics. I'm worried about this little jail thing, man, because if I go to jail, man, I ain't going to be able to do jail, man, because I put people in jail. I help shape law and stuff like that put people in jail. And I can't go myself. I can't do that type of time, man. They gonna take the booty. So I ain't gonna be able to do that, man. And my booty 70 years old. I'm 85-year-old booty. I ain't gonna make it. Trump, you can do whatever you want to do. Who's gonna stop you? Trump got that mentality, y'all. Y'all hear it on full display. Who's gonna stop you? That's got to be Trump's mantra every single time he breaks the law. Who's going to stop me? Who's going to stop me? Well, we know the Republicans ain't going to stop me because they cowards. They're scared to death of me. Imagine, the Republicans are scared to death of Donald Trump. It ain't that they're scared of him because he's some type of physical threat. They're afraid of him because they don't want to lose any money. He's a financial threat to them. They don't want to lose their seats. If they go up against him, they're going to come out on the other end like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has to resign from Congress because MAGA is a cult. They don't follow right. They're not concerned about right and wrong. They're just concerned about following their leader, Donald Trump. Whatever Trump says, they're programmed to believe and to carry out. They really are a cult. So it doesn't matter. Right doesn't matter to them. Wrong doesn't matter to them. It's whatever Trump says. Because they can be totally against something. But the moment Trump says he's for it, all of a sudden, they're for it. They're magically for it, which is why I have zero respect for them. Because they don't even control their own brains. They don't even have their own opinions. They act like they do until Trump says something different, and then they jump on board. I remember a time like that in New York, when we was first coming up in the rap game. New York was very cliquish and cult-like in terms of hip-hop. Like, look, man, if it ain't New York, we not rocking it. If it's not New York, we're not playing it. Even on an individual level, New Yorkers would listen to other music outside of New York. But they wouldn't say it out loud in a crowd. I got an example here. Like, this is a real life lived experience. I'm in Manhattan. I'm walking with these dudes from the record label. From what label was that? Universal. I think it was Warner. Walking with some dude from Warner. The dude is telling me how much he loved the music and everything, how much he loved the Ghetto Boys, Mind Playing Tricks. Man, I love that song, man. Woo, woo, woo. This is early 90s. He loved the song. He's like, man, I love that song, man. And he started talking about some of the other music that he liked from the South. And then we stepped into a group of New Yorkers. And they started discussing the music overall. And there was some resistance there to the music from the South. And do you know this dude got quiet and didn't say anything? He wouldn't say anything. He just got quiet because he didn't want to be ostracized. I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn, over some music? You can't even have your own opinion about music? Yeah. Like he wouldn't say anything. He was so talkative at first. He was very talkative, and knowledgeable of the music in the South. But when his fellow New Yorkers came around who wasn't really rocking with the South like that, he just kind of got in line and rolled with the punches. What Kwame Brown say, go along to get along. He just joined the go along, get along gang. Yeah. Couldn't be me. I got one life to live. I'm gonna live it like a man. Yeah. I'm gonna live it like a man. When I die, they're gonna say that's a man right there. That's a man in that urn. Not casket, urn. That's a man right there. Yeah. So anyway, fam, Trump has been caught multiple times with his hand in the cookie jar. Yet he still managed to become president. See, when all of this stuff was going on, both sides knew that Trump was like this. They knew exactly who he was. They had an opportunity to bury him politically. They had an opportunity to bury him. And they gave him life and allowed him to get on the campaign trail and run for office again. They convicted him 34 times, but he's still allowed to run. The Republican Party at that point should have said, we cannot have a 34-time felon leading our party. One might say, well, if you got a felony at all, you probably shouldn't become president of the United States. I disagree. I disagree with that. I think that there's a lot of people who got felonies who have turned their lives around. So I think that those type of situations have to be, it have to be considered on a case-by-case basis. Just as if a job for, working at AT&T would be, like, okay, this happened, you did this, okay, well, when, what kind of crime was it? How long ago was it? What are you doing now? What's your life like now? I think that, but 34 times, that's different. 34 times. The party should have said, the party should have gotten together and said, I don't care how powerful this dude is. We just cannot have that. We cannot have that type of representation in our party, because how are we going to justify trying to tell other people to have integrity and live up to a certain moral code when we have a 34-time convicted felon as our leader? How are we going to get people to believe in us? How are we going to get people to trust anything we say? And they're realizing now how exactly hard that is. They're really realizing how hard that is to do. They thought in the beginning that they would be able to just bulldoze their way through that argument. But now they realize that, man, these people ain't just accepting anything we say anymore. They still kind of on the fence with Trump and stuff like that, but every time something go down in government now, it's all questioned. That was a time when if it was reported by any of the major networks that we were at risk of a foreign nation harming Americans, we would take the government's word for it. Well, since this Venezuela thing, and really before that, but it's been on full display. The mistrust has been on full display in the aftermath of this Venezuela attacks, the attacks on the boats, the so-called drug boats in Venezuela or in the international waters that are coming from Venezuela. People are going like, okay, first he says this is about fentanyl and drugs. Now Trump slips up the other day and says, yeah, we want our land back from them and our oil, it's ours and we want it back. And people going like, oh, okay, so that's what that was about. And we knew that what it was about anyway, because we know this government cares nothing about protecting people from drugs. We know that. Hell, we got the biggest damn pharmacy network in the world. It's more Americans on prescription drugs and illicit street drugs than there are any other people in the entire world. Americans love drugs. And Americans are going to use drugs. And he knows this. And he know it ain't nothing he can do to put a dent in drug use or the distribution of drugs, because there are too many agents on the take.